Hey everyone, Corrie here coming in to do the weekly channel message. It is, well, actually midweek, so it's the 21st and I'm recording this. So I'm pretty sure this will actually play out until the in through next week, probably Monday or Tuesday. It's a bit of probably the whole month, probably the rest of the month. It's a bit of a shit show out there. There's no, let me rephrase that. There is a lot of good nuggets of possibility that's in this energy right now. There is a lot that's changing. We are in the midst of a change. Anytime something has to end and new beginnings happen, it can feel a little chaotic. There is definitely some change. I do have the angels with me, and the angelic realm is just coming in with such a message of, restoring that sense of hope within ourselves, and to really look into to finding that faith within ourselves, to believe in ourselves, to believe in who we are and what we bring to the table and what we bring into the world. And we have so much to offer. We do. There is so much that is, I'm like, it just makes me so excited. I'm like, if you could just see what I see, and if you could just see what I see inside of people, to see that essence of our souls, to be there. There's so much beauty, but we do have a strong sense of the divine feminine that's with us. We have the goddess energy. It's so here. And we have this angelic realm. And I feel like we have Metatron. And I know last time I was in here and I spoke Metatrons with us, but we do have that networking energy. I feel like there's something that is blossoming, something that is ready to like explode open, something that's been blossoming for a while. There's like these new aspects, like we're getting some new information, some new stories, new things that are happening, that are taking place. Along with that, of course, the weather is also a part of that energy. Mother Earth has her own agendas and her own stuff that's happening as the Earth is also expanding. I do keep picking up something around the sun and the changing within we are in the equinox. So we have fall equinox that's happening as well. And that fall equinox, this is where the shit show comes in. So I feel like the world needs love, and I am so thankful and filled with such gratitude that this coming weekend, I am actually teaching, I'm teaching Reiki teacher training. So I'm in a space of absolute love, being surrounded in love and putting love out into the world. So we are building an orb of love. Like there's a whole network of love that'll be coming from Slave Lake area this weekend as we step into that energy for a whole weekend of training future teachers that will be also out into this world as well in their way, and willing to learn and to become a part of something greater. And that's the passing down the generations of healing and being able to share. And so with that, we open up a space of love. So that's, we do need love. I do feel like we're getting to the root of a lot of stories. You're going to feel there is coming up. So the energy that's happening and what I'm getting is we are going to be experiencing a lot of the getting to the roots. Like when we start digging things up and we start to look at things deeper, is that we discover not everything is as it should be. Not everything is in, so this could be in relationship. This could be in relationships in your life. This could be within you. This could be something of yourself, something for yourself, a message for you personally, that be careful of where you dig and what you're digging into. Because the moment you become so curious or you feel like you need to know everything, so when when someone's trying to lie to you, or that someone's not telling you the whole truth, and you're like, I need to know more, and you start to dig through everything to find out more, what you discover and what you find out may be more than you're prepared to be able to face. And when you find out those things, you want to respond instantly. What they're telling us is that they highly suggest taking a breather, pause, reflect, don't react from the shock. So when we react from shock, when we react instantly, we don't look at the greater picture, and we also don't give ourselves time to become the person that we need to be to deal with situations that are arising. So when you think about it that way, if you give yourself the opportunity to become the person that you need to be, to call in the troops, call in the your guardians, call in your angels, call in your true voice, and know that you can't suppress or you can't keep back in, but you find that voice to have the courage to speak that truth. And sometimes it also comes with apologies. And apologies don't always mean that you were wrong. It don't mean that you're saying you were wrong and somebody else was right. What you're saying is that the apology is, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I contributed more to this than needed to be, or that I didn't communicate properly first, or that I didn't speak of what I was feeling. I didn't say what I needed to say. I didn't say that my needs weren't being met, or whatever that may be. I'm sorry that I did my part, but it doesn't mean that you are saying that you are accepting somebody else's part or somebody else's wrongdoing. That becomes a truth that it's like, if you do that, then you are giving your power away. Restoring your power, restoring your energy, speaking that truth, and saying, and taking your, owning your responsibility and your end is that restores your sense of hope within you, and so that you can have faith in you that, if you do your part and you feel good that you have spoken your truth, you've done what you need to do, you've said what you need to say, that everything else that is meant to happen will divinely happen. What is meant to be ours in our lives will not be taken away. What is meant to be our truth will be there. What is there for us is there for us. It puts us back in our path, in our lane, in being kind to ourselves, in knowing that we're being honest with ourselves. There is such, it restores that sense of integrity in ourselves to be honest with ourselves. And when we are honest with ourselves, we are more willing to be honest with others. And that's a huge part of this message, because I feel like there is that energy that is out there. And you don't be surprised if you get a sorry. Don't be surprised if you get somebody reaching out to you and saying, you know what, I was so wrong. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. This is what I did. And before you react and respond with, yeah, you should have known better, or that's what, before you react with that dander up, with your porcupine quills out, with that, before you react from defensiveness, because that's the energy we have, is that defensiveness. Before you react from that shadow of the defensiveness to defend, stop, pause, take a breath, breathe, and breathe through and ask, what is it I really, truly would like to say? And first of all, say thank you. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for saying, thank you for the apology. May I have a few days to really sit with this? Maybe something that you can do. I need a few days. Let me think about this. Let me, I need to process my own thoughts and my own words, but I appreciate the fact that you have reached out to me. Those are good things. These are things that are not always about the other people, but it's about you. It's about you knowing you enough to know that if you respond in a way that feels healthy to you, to your heart, to your soul, then you don't have to live with the after effects. After we have that argument, after we do that, we're like, I should have said this, and if I would have done this, how friends get together and friends like, if I were you, I would have said this and I would have done that. But then you see them in the same situation a few weeks down the road, or a few months or years down the road, and they're like, and they're repeating the same thing, and you're like, but you told me you would never. And you guilted me into responding that way, but now you're doing the same thing and you're justifying it. But you may have messed up my opportunity, and I may have listened to you because I followed suit to that, right? So it's like they didn't mess it up, but you know what I mean? Like there's something of that is just saying, stop, pause, reflect, think about things. And, does that sit well with my heart? Does that sit well with my heart? And that's how the angelic realm is asking of us to be present this week, to really truly know that the divine doesn't come down with their wings flapping, their hands on their hips and looking at us going, are you dumb? What the hell did you just do? And why did you just do that? They come down in that sense of, can you now see? Can you feel that? And that's where the virtue of unconditional love exists. And we really don't have a lot of unconditional love here on earth. We got a lot of, even with children, we are so determined to create them into something, to keep them busy, to keep them occupied, to make them into something, to teach them what is right and what is wrong, that we have conditioned love, right? And so we're being told to let go of some of that, as I'm shuffling through the cards on the table, to let go of that, to restore some sense of, let's find some unconditional love. Let's stop placing conditions, expectations, demands, and those things, and let's look deeper. Let's look deeper. Let's restore love. Let's be a little more caring. Let's be a little more compassionate, because we are in times when things are not so pretty. We've got the cockroaches coming out of the woodworks. It's like the cockroaches survive everything. They get through everything and they wait their time to kind of infest. And we have cockroach energy. Oh, you always hear me speak about the ants. The everyday people are the ants. Well, the other ones are the cockroaches. And we do have a lot of cockroach energy that's coming out, that it's like time to get to work, time to get these plans moving, time to get this happening. We have a lot of this, this masculine energy coming in of force and pull. And that doesn't mean that's what men are like. It's saying that's in the masculine energy. And we all have feminine, we all have masculine. And we've all been very conditioned to that masculine pull. And this is like, and it's coming back in a way that just says, it's like, we got to do this now. We have to do this now. This has to happen. But we have a right to also respond to, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't have to do that. No, I don't have to accept that. And so that childlike energy is why? Tell me why. Why do I have to? No, I don't. No, I'm not. And so we have this push-pull energy. So the cards that come out for this week are the wisdom of the elder, which is Nugimi. And that is, that sense of the ancestors of those who have walked before us are, they are the bright light. We are the newbies. No matter how brilliant you are here on earth, no matter how smart you are, you're still not the wisdom of the elders. You still don't have, you're gaining, you're learning, but you have knowledge, you have your thoughts, you have what you're trying to make happen, but it doesn't mean you're right. And it doesn't mean it's what's best for the whole, and it doesn't mean it's right for everyone. So that's a message to some of the great brilliance that think they're the great brilliance out there, is that, you know what? I don't think you're so right. I don't think you got it all right. I think you've got a lot wrong, and I think you're not listening. So that's what they're saying. I don't think anything. I don't know anything, but that's what they're saying. And so there's this sense of like, when I can feel that through, is I get that know-it-all energy, and all knowing and know-it-all is very different. So when you say, I know, I got it. If you knew, you wouldn't be on repeat. So when you think you know something, right? So when we think we know something, that's the problem. Our mind has created a narrative and a story, and we've programmed ourselves to respond that way. But the all-knowing is in that feeling, that vision of, there's something more happening. Oh, or your whole body just stops and your hands go on your hip and go, no, or yes, how we respond. And then someone tries to convince you and talk you out of it, and you do it anyway, right? It's like we do that to children. It's like the child says no. It's like hugging somebody. Give so-and-so a hug. No. Oh, that's not. And you responded instantly. That was your honest response. You weren't ready for it, maybe down the road, but not right now. Or you absolutely know not to. And then the parent, the people, or the adults around go, oh, come on. That's a sin. You're going to make them feel bad. So then you're guilty, right? How many times have you been guilted into? And how many times do we do that? Right. And so we live by being guilted and shamed into having to be and do specific things. We do it to other people, and we have to be very aware of that. And this is the wisdom. It's like, we are the little light. We have so much yet to learn. There is so much for us to discover. And if we look into the light of things, so if we turn a light on in the dark, if we turn a light on, and if we ask for all the details, expose everything, show me everything, let me make up my own mind. Instead of tell me I have to accept something, be willing to show me everything. Show me the good, bad, and the ugly. Show me what could happen, and don't hide nothing. Don't put anything in small print, put it all in big print. And that was one of the big reasons why in the second book, it's in big print. There's always hidden messages. This book was made small. Everything was compacted together. It was made to be, what I was told was that it would be published, it'd be cheaper to print, da, 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 da. This one, I'm like, no, I'm doing it my way. And I don't want things in small print. I want things in big print. I want it in bold print, because if you have nothing to hide, you can put everything in big print. If you have nothing that, if you're not trying to fool anybody, if you're not trying to pull wool over people's eyes, you can put everything out there. You can expose everything. You can let yourself be fully seen, and you don't have to fear that other part. What other people think, what other people say, what other people do, that's on them. That's their thing. But when you know who you are, and you know who you're not. But when we're in the I know, but we're in repeat, we're not listening, and we don't want to know sometimes. And so then we have the Pegasus, we have this beautiful healer energy, and then we have the little tiny ladybugs and the butterflies. And now this big Pegasus blowing up and around, hard to see, but is like, and then this rainbow and these, what makes one any greater power than the other, including this human, right? It's like when we release control, or we stop believing that we are more powerful, or that we have to do everything, we have to be everything. And we make peace, and we realize that so much more is working for us. There is so much that's working on our behalf. There's so much energy that's out there. There's so much divine presence that is with us. And so the eye of the storm is that a storm can be happening in this world, and we can be at peace with who we are and what we are. And when we do that, and we can know the storms never last. And I just got that song, storms never last, do they, baby? And I'm like, I don't know who needed to, I don't know who, I'm not a singer, so I can't sing it for you, but whoever that song resonates with, that's like, your hand in mine steals the thunder, something like that, I think is how it goes. And I just seen the dance, like just dancing to it. I just seen two people dancing to it. And we can dance in the rain. We can just like still be at peace and be present, be content. And so finding our way to that, discovering our way to that is so important right now. That's the journey that we should be on, and saying, no, I don't have to do this. And no, I'm not being a part of that shit show, and I'm not getting into that shit show. And that's where the awareness of truth comes in. And this is Corina. And yes, she looks a lot like me, because she's my cards, but I didn't put her in the deck originally. This was a gift. This was gifted to me. This was from the artist who created this painting of me, and gifted it to me as a Christmas present. And between myself and the amazing people that work with me, we decided it would go into the cards, and that it should be placed into the cards, because the cards are that from shadow to light, right? Living from our not true self to our true self. It is the everyday goddess. So when we find our way back to us, as we sit in that throne, we know who we are. We become our own crowning glory. And then we always know there's that divine that works over us. So this beautiful blue represents that of the divine mother energy. It's representing that of Heniel. It represents Mother Mary. It represents all things divine. And so has this contentment. I couldn't see myself as this woman, even when this card was first created, but it's the awareness of truth. And the name is Corina because it's my real name. And so find your way back to your real truth and to who you really are. And we live by that defined character. And so when we're defending ourselves and we're defending stories, we're often defending pieces and parts of us that no longer exist. So we're always we're always defending history. And when we're always defending that past of ourselves, is we are leaking and losing that light and the power of being present with, yeah, you know what? I may have done that. Yeah, I'm sorry that I was that person. I'm sorry you had to be a part of that person's, or, it was like, so I don't know. I just feel like there's just such an energy of shift coming in here. And when we get down and right and dirty and that energy, and we dig up the roots of the stories and we know it, we realize there's some stuff that's really dug in as truth, and other things are not. And so Not all vegetables are going to turn out fine in a garden, put it that way. Not everyone is going to be perfect, and not everything is going to be perfect. But things are getting real. So we do have that awareness of truth and wanting to know truth and discover truth on a deeper level without having to fight about it. But owning that sense of ourselves, honesty, authenticity. And honesty is going to start to restore some hope. And when we can be honest about the intentions, then we can truly, and then listen, we can truly start to see some changes happening. So we do have, that's our message, and that's our energy that's happening with us this coming week, and what's happening in this coming week. I keep seeing gold too. So I have a lot of golden energy, and it's funny. I just dropped a card. Hold on. Card hit the floor. Actually, there's two. So we have the Timeless Treasure Una, and it's gold. And I said, I just keep seeing gold. And this one is kind of like that of Lady Liberty. You know, she can withstand. So the eye of the storm, Lady Liberty, she can withstand those storms, and she's there, but she's always there for us to come home to. And so for us to be able to walk through, to start new beginnings. So we're in the midst of a lot of endings in our lives, and we're in the midst of a lot of new beginnings. And so endings and beginnings are always happening. So this is timeless treasure of time is really infinite. And we still have time to be what we want to be. We still have time to do the things that we need to be. We can stretch, we can expand time, turn off the clock. Then you don't even know what time it is, right? And it's like, and so we're so defined by the clock, but the clock is not all there is. That hours in the run of a day, the time that we have, these moments are what counts. And so we have this very moment is what's the only thing that's guaranteed is this moment you're in. Nothing else is. So we have the suffering of pain, which is Jules. And Jules is like, she holds all in her hands. And she's like, when you are holding on to so much and you're so full with all of the pains, all the hurts, with all that you read, all that your subconscious has been fed, all that you keep becoming a part of, listening to everything that's happening in the world, becoming a part of it, where's there any space where you can receive new and keep it in? Because it's all coming out. And there's no space. And when there's no space, when it's in overflow, everything, even the good, even the light, is all leaking and falling out. You have to let go. So Jules is saying, surrender over to us. Give us the angels, the guides. They're saying, give us your suffering, like release the suffering and set yourself free of feeling like you have to be that responsible for everything. Set yourself free of that and make space. Open your heart, open up your minds, open your eyes, open up you, be available to this beautiful flow of good golden threads of light and beams of energy and new truths that are coming in. And I can feel it, I can sense it, I know it's there. And it's saying, make space for us in you so that you can hold on to some of this beautiful divine love that is a healing love. It's a healing light that helps us to be able to heal, to restore, to replenish, and to be in the healthiest of relationships that we could be in. And that's our message this week. Much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, midweek. This is midweek, and falling into and knowing that, yes, this harvest season means that when we start to dig up and we start to harvest through, there's going to be a lot of imperfections. There's going to be some rotten potatoes down there. There's going to be some cockroaches coming out. There's some bugs coming out from underneath the ground. Doesn't mean everything is ruined. It just means, there's just always going to be that's waiting to get out and in. But we have a voice, and we have a strength, and we have a courage. And when we open and we come from that place of love, is beauty, love, light, is way more powerful than anything. Much love. See you soon. Bye-bye.